Hey guys, so today we are going to be going over one of the better approaches to getting your third job on your main characters. This is Most Japan players are probably going to know this, but this is mostly so global players can really understand the extent at which we need to go through in order to get these. But also, if any newer Japan players actually wanted to get a hold of these, it's a good way to go about doing it. Um, and some units you might want if you want to be able to farm this easily. So, why is J3 so hard? Well, it's specifically because of the equipment. It's very hard to get. Um, I'm going to say right now, this piece of gear is farmable from the basic normal story quests. However, I think I got like 4 drops out of over 2,000 or more AP. It's actually probably closer to 3 or 4,000 AP. The drop rate is just absolutely abysmal. This is not the way you want to go about getting this unless you are a mega whale who doesn't want to have to wait. You're going to need this piece of equipment to get yourself up to job 5, so we are going to start with this piece of equipment. So we are going to go into multi in a second here, but I'm going to show you why we're about to go into multi here. So one of the methods of getting this piece of gear is buying it with EX coins. You get EX coins from running EX quests, so it's just a good way to get these coins, as well as MP coins, which I actually don't even have 1,000 of them for it right now because I've been buying them pretty non-stop. But what's the best way to get these? Because these are the two best methods of getting these job equips. Well, there's 2 maps that I have my eyes on as the easiest maps to obtain those 2 resources at the same time. So you're going to have to go into the MP SSM, and the first map is going to be the Demonic Spearman map. And the reason we like the Demonic Spearman map is because most things in there will die really easily. If you're willing to manual it, which I'm not, then it's definitely the better of the 2 maps that I have in mind, as you can easily go in there. And even nowadays in Japan, Klima has 3 casts on her reign, and I'm pretty sure she can kill the entire field except for the 1 demon in the back, which you'll probably have to kill manual. But we now have a pair option, which allows you to bring a Jin along, and if you go and Zerk a Jin on the left side of the map, he will go and kill that demon for you, and you can have Klima rain down the rest of the map. Easy win, not too many strings attached, minimal amount of effort. But if you want to put even less effort in, but don't mind a less steady source, you can always go for the third option, which is the third map, and you can bring along Gain. And the reason we bring along Gain is because Gain will auto-zerk himself when he goes into a map. You're going to want to get Gain's third gate, so you're going to have to drop at least 2 sins to make this effective. You're going to need some kind of accessory that resists stop at least 50%. This is mandatory because there is a Wagino in this map, and he will cast stop on you, and when he does, you are going to lose, which is why this isn't like a surefire win. It's also possible for the demon in the map to cast death sentence on you, but that'll only happen if you are too slow. So I think I've only ever failed from that once, and I just happened to be glancing over when it did. Otherwise, you literally just click the go button with this particular setup, and he will go and auto the map for you. Drops are just about the same. I know that the Demonic Spearman map used to have better drops than it does now, but they've recently modded it to have better equipment drops, which reduced the number of EX coins you got. So, while I still think Demonic Spearman is a slightly better map to farm, and is going to be more effective, if you really are like me, and you just really don't want to have to think about it, you could always run the third map with Gain and just auto it. No strings attached. You are going to be dropping a ton of AP though. It's 25 AP per run, and that means it's going to be 250 AP per 1,000 MP coins. I think I believe you get 4 times if you host. So it's 100 coins per successful run, 10 runs per 1,000 coins per 1 equip, and then every once in a while you'll have gathered up enough EX coins to get another shard of said equip. So 250 times 60, I just got off work not too long ago, and I'm really tired, so I'm not going to do the math. You guys can do the math. What's 25 times 60? Or, what was it? I don't even remember anymore. 250 times 60. And, that is the amount of AP you are going to need at maximum, assuming you got no EX coin drops, to farm out your job 2 to 5 equipment. But that's not all. We still need more, because for the next 3 job levels, you're going to need a different piece of equipment. The good news is, this one's a bit easier. Although, to be honest, in Global, it might be impossible, seeing as you need Vita coins, and Vita is still broken in Global, last I checked. You can get this job equipment for 1,200 each. You can get 10 of them. You're going to need all 10 in order to do it, which means you're going to need at least 2 runs of the tower in order to get all those Vita coins if you didn't have them beforehand, like I didn't. The good news is, until I manage to get my hands on the job 3 to 5 equipment, I'm probably not going to get very far. So the next set of drops is going to be coming from a Hell quest. Edgar's came from Belta's, and Liz's came from Walking House, and the only stipulation is you have to clear with the said main character as part of your main party. It's actually pretty easy to do, all things considered. Except maybe Belta's. Belta's is a real pain if you don't have good units. If you have good units, it's not awful, but it's still a pain. In order to get your job tokens, you are going to need to clear this quest here. The quest itself is actually not that bad as long as you have a decent water lead with decent AoE to take out some units when you actually spawn in. Because when you start the map, you're going to be starting as Liz with a bunch of NPC characters, and your main squad is not going to be on the map. At least that's how Liz's works. I haven't even done Edgar's, to be honest, because I'm just not as interested. And you're also going to need to clear out this final quest, which was actually somewhat difficult, but that's mostly because of it forces you to use Liz. And if you do not have the piece of gear that I have, the scarf that lets you trade places with another unit, it's actually kind of annoying because Liz starts in the middle of basically a group of units that can one-shot her. And if they one-shot her, you lose the map. If you have that piece of gear, the map's actually really easy because you can just draw Liz down to the bottom and just clear the map with your normal units. Otherwise, it's going to require a little bit more thought, but otherwise it's not too awful, to be honest. The good news is there isn't an all-clear mission, so that's not too bad. The rest of the stuff is going to be coming out of your event tab here. I already cleared out most of it. Actually, wait, no, it's coming out of the main character tab. I already cleared out most of it. I still need to clear the Snow Witch quest 4 more times in order to get these pieces of gear, and I'll do that eventually. And you also have to clear out all of the missions in Rebecca's quest line, including her EXs, her EX Plus, and her EX Plus, I believe, because I noticed that I'm still missing an all mission clear there, and it's for one of the normal stages, so I assume that each one of them has to be completed to the maximum in order to get the rest of that equipment. And as for the last thing on there, I'm actually not 100% sure, because I didn't notice any third equips. I should actually probably pull Liz up here real quick to see this, if it's even in the game, because I think I heard something about them not even being in the game yet. So I go to her Snow Witch here, and go over this piece of gear. I'm not exactly sure where the final piece of gear comes from, to be honest. If anyone knows, please leave it in the comment section, because I haven't found it yet. But anyways, that is the job 3 in a nutshell. It's not necessarily that it's super hard to get, it's more like it's super aggravating and AP intensive to farm, and you kind of have to ask yourself, is it worth it? I'll end up doing it because I have this awesome Liz skin, so I feel obligated to actually make her a usable unit. Because I'll just tell you one thing right now, as she was in Japan, she is completely unusable without this J3 at this point, because just J2 doesn't cut it. She's better off being run as a bishop at this point than she is her J+. So keep that in mind. I know today was a bit of a short video. It wasn't meant to be super long. We have a maintenance tonight in Taga. Setsuna Job Plus is coming tomorrow. Do expect a video with that. Setsuna does look like she has received the Shura JE, which is extremely important. If she did not get that, she would likely not be worth using, really. I mean, she might have been worth using, but she wouldn't have been nearly as good. And it does look like she did get a wind attribute on her Tiger Tremor, which is also a really big deal, because it means that we can now run Yomi Sword on her and get benefit from the Thunder exploit that it gives. In general, I was looking at it and it looks like her Job Plus is pretty decent, based on Muse's translations, but I'll have to actually see it in action tomorrow when it drops, because right when it would normally drop, we obviously are getting a maintenance. Another quick thing I wanted to point out, Rahu's Job Plus looks like it's getting an update, and that update looks pretty sick. So I might go over that tomorrow too, if I feel like I have the time to, and it's kind of nasty looking. It looks really cool. Rahu's looks like is gonna take back her place as top win support again, outside of obviously damage buffs. So look forward to that. Other people getting their Kaigen Gate 5s are Lyle, Ankh, and Aswald. Although I'm really not sure how I feel about Ankh's Gate 5, to be honest. I feel a little disappointed because there was something he really needed, and I don't think he's getting it. Thanks for watching, as always, guys. I hope this kind of cleared things up for anyone who still had questions on exactly what the J3 entails. As for how good they are, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I do know that Liz, with the Nensos and all of the other stuff, is definitely going to be in a much better place than she was just a couple weeks ago. So do look forward to that. I won't have a video on Liz until next month, unfortunately, because I'm not willing to pay the 500 gems to reset Vita. I need those 500 gems for other things. Like, important things like OG skins. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you next time.